Hey guys, here today with another Shirogorov knife. Today we have in front of us the Custom Division MidiQ. Now the MidiQ, and not MIDI Quantum, it is the MidiQ, is the mid-sized version of the Quantum design, which first started with the Quantum. That appeared all the way back in 2019. That one is, for all intents and purposes, the same size as the F95, with the blade being slightly longer just due to the blade shape in terms of cutting edge, but with the knife open and the handle size pretty much spot on with the F95. We then had the Mini Quantum being released, which was the same size as the Neon. And then now we have the MidiQ, which slots in between the two size-wise, and that would make it around the same size as a Stellar. Now, this is actually the first time we've seen the same, basically model, but offered in 3 different sizes. The F95 and the Neon, while they have very similar, profiles and blade shapes, well, personally I don't think so, but a lot of people would say so, they are, distinct designs. However, with the Quantum design, we now see one in every size category, full-sized, mid-size, and then the smaller size. It doesn't, however, go the opposite way, right? Like, we do have the 111 and the Ashen, which are slightly bigger than the F95 full-size knife, but let's not talk about that. Anyways, going back to this medium-sized range, something a lot of people consider to be kind of a Goldilocks size, right? And so I was really excited when the MidiQ was introduced back in Blade Show 2024. In fact, the custom version of this knife, which looked quite similar in terms of the handle and blade configuration, actually won Blade Show Best MACK, or Machine Assisted Custom Knife. Honestly, a category that, if you ask me, was created because of makers such as Sergei Shirogorov and Dmitry Sinkovich, where, with their CNC and CAD prowess, it's just like wiping the floor of these people who can't really compete because they only have, manual tools. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. The MidiQ is an incredible design, in my opinion, and as you know, I really like my skeletonized knives, so I really like this model here, and I'm very excited to talk about it today. But first, let's go ahead and talk about the specs here. Talking about the size, again, as I had mentioned before, it falls in very much in between size-wise with the full-sized F95 and the compact gentleman's folder, the Neon here. And so again, slots in between the two here, size-wise. You can see we have a very nice triangle, upside-down triangle here of knives. What does this actually mean, though, in terms of the cutting edge and the lengths, open and close? Well, we're looking at around 3 3/4, 3.75 inches of cutting length, very similar to the Stellar. With the knife open, we're looking at just around 8 1/4 inches. And with the handle closed, we are looking at around, let's see here, 4 3/4 inches. Now this knife does have a fair bit of skeletonization. However, again, windows are not particularly big. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this means for the weight of the knife. We are looking at just a hair over 96 grams. Sorry, I had reset it. Let me go ahead and restart it. And in ounces, that is almost 3.39 ounces here. The knife itself, 3mm blade stock thickness for the blade, It is being done in MagnaCut here. During this time, Sergey had really been on a MagnaCut kick with the introduction of the steel in the Astrum, and so no surprise that Sergey had wanted to continue using it in the custom division lineup. We have those famous stonewash bevels here on the primary bevel, done again in that finer CD stonewash. The flats, which not much of is visible due to the blade cutout, are done in that satin finish. Taking a look at the other side here as well, nothing too much to note here, but, well, you can see on both sides here, we do have a little bit of extra milling here on the inside of the blade that lines up very well with the milling on the handle here. Very similar in terms of the patterning, and very nice touch with the lines that flow into the sweeping line, blue line that runs across the handle here. With the blade closed and taking a look at the flipper tab, you can also see that we have some milling on the inside of the flipper tab. It's not completely skeletonized like the Fuller area, but we do have some milling pocketing here with some of that same pattern. Taking a look at the handles, you can see we have this darkened gray base color that spans the majority of the handle. However, we do have these two vivid blue stripes. You know, it seems like what they're doing here is doing a very nice clean satin finish across the handle, and then doing an anodization for the blue color here. And the combination of those two really make the handle pop here on this middle blue line, and is one of the defining characteristics of the MidiQ design. You can see here that while the top and the bottom of the handles are smooth, through the middle portion runs this very, how do I describe it? It's not quite radial, but it does follow the contours of the handle here, and continues all the way through to the back here, where we have the Shirogorov logo. I do love that the pointed chin or bottom part of the logo is accommodated for with a cutout into the rear portion of the handle here to make room for the logo. Nice touch that we have seen on previous knives. Taking a look at the lock side here, you can see that we have those same pockets that we see on the other side to match. But one other cool feature is that this cutout here that is done during the lock bar cutting process turns into another window. This window here above the lock bar relief cut is actually part of the original Quantum design, but it's very interesting to see it continued as part of the skeletonization design for the handle. Of course, we only have one cutout here on the show side, but which is matched on the lock side, but it's really cool to see this design feature being continued and repurposed as part of the handle design motif. Now, unlike the Mini Quantum that came before it, this knife is a frame lock, just like the original full-size Quantum design. Just like the other side, you can see the two lines running through, those bright blue satin lines running through the handle here. I love how the lock bar insert screw, which is screwed in from the other side, intersects perfectly with the bottom blue satin line. Really nice touch in having everything line up, in my opinion. We have a rear body screw, which is the inverted CD screw. And then we also have a geared backspacer and the rotating clip system, RCS clip, done in a fairly bright titanium gray, a little bit brighter than what we see on the normal titanium finishes. It's actually so bright that you can actually see the tumbling quite well here. Very unique finish on this backspacer. It doesn't look quite like cracked ice, but just the brightness of the backspacer combined with the tumble gives it definitely a unique appearance. Now the way RPC works here, you can see we have a spring-loaded clip that rotates. You can see here indicated by this arrow at the base of the clip. Now, what this allows you to do is, say you have any dress slacks or pants that you don't want to destroy from inserting or removing a pocket clip over and over. You know, some people who are hardcore knife collectors and carry their knives in the pants often, you might notice this happening to jeans or something of the like. This allows you to mitigate that and prevent damage to your pants by basically having this little curved pad here that you put your finger on. Holding the knife, you can then open the clip, slide it down your pants, and then once it's over that hem, you can let go. It's spring-loaded, and the clip will lock onto the detent and then have incredibly positive retention. Same process when you're removing it. You push down on the clip and then pull the knife straight out, and then you're ready to go. You can see here that moving the clip, the ball detent is located underneath the clip here. This is all powered by a leaf spring. Right here, you can see this curved leaf spring, and moving the clip will move a pin that acts on that leaf spring. Now, just like all custom division knives, we have extensive internal milling on the inside. It's really nice to see that in conjunction with the skeletonization. So, you know, a lot of milling going on both sides of the knife, making it just that little bit lighter. The knife is using single row roller bearings, just like all other custom divisions, of course, with steel washers, underlays to enhance the longevity of that bearing race. That's pretty much it for the MIDI Quantum. If anything, I'm just a little bit disappointed that it's that dark and gray color, since it's not really my favorite finish, but the combination of skeletonization, you know, the bright blue satin is actually really nice in my opinion, even though the handles are darkened. But overall, out of the 3 Quantum sizes, I think this one is my favorite. Goldilocks size, skeletonization on the blade and on the handle. Really nice configuration overall. And I'm glad that we are seeing more knives in this medium size range, which people have been asking for years. And now suddenly, not only do we have the Stellar, but we also have the MidiQ now. But that's pretty much it for this one. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and I'll try to get to it as soon as possible. Otherwise, can't wait to see you guys next time for the next knife. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. See you guys next time.